I am Generic Redstone Genius, and today we're going to be looking at the most powerful TNT cannon in Minecraft. Now this cannon isn't super long range like the other ones you might see that can travel 1,000 blocks or something, but it has super strong payload, where it will actually destroy anything that you'll fire it at. But that's enough for me talking, let's just fire it. The range on it, by the way, is about 100 blocks. And as you see, that completely tore right through that. This is about like 15 to 20 blocks, and it tore all the way through it, and it made a big hole. And yeah, it's absolutely destroyed it. It also blows up a little bit early, which helps propel the TNT even further. So yeah, it's a very impressive cannon, and absolutely shreds anything in its path. Now I'm just gonna fire it one more time, just so you can see what happens. It's kind of weird how this one works because there's a bunch of TNT in the payload of it. So yeah, I'll just show you guys that. So you'll see it's gonna fire, most of it's gonna go right through. So some of it blew up in here, but the rest of it blew up like down there. So yeah, it's pretty impressive. Quickly before we do our tutorial, a lot of you guys might have seen my video on the TNT minecart nuclear missile and might be wondering which one is better. The damage on them is basically the same, however they have different situational uses. If your enemy has a base and you're just trying to attack it, the nuclear missile will be better because you can just build it and then fire it off. This is a much bigger thing to build for just 1 or 2 shots. However, if you both have a base, so your enemy base is say that, and then you have your base here, it'd be better to build this because you can fire it multiple times. However, this one is a little bit more expensive, both in materials, and it also uses TNT to propel it and TNT to damage it. Whereas the TNT missile, only uses like the slime block flying machine to propel it. However, this is also more difficult to defend against because there's like no real way to block it. Whereas the missile, you can kind of shoot it out or use another flying machine to intercept it. So it's kind of situational, and honestly the main difference is that if you have a base and your opponent's base is over there, build this cannon, but if you're just trying to attack an enemy base, you should probably build the missile. But yeah, that's enough for me talking, let's go into the tutorial. Okay, so let's just quickly go over what items we'll need to make it. So we'll need 9 snow layers, I'll explain about the purpose of that more later. You'll need 7 ladders, a water bucket, about a few stacks of building blocks, a stack and 37 dispensers, a few stacks of probably about 2.5 stacks of redstone dust, that's approximately, 43 repeaters, 3 comparators, 6 slabs, and a wooden button. You'll also need a lot of TNT, but that's about it, let's get straight into building it. Okay, so we're going to start off by building it, and what we're going to do quickly, this is just for ease of buildability. You can do this if you're in creative, unfortunately you can't do it if you're in survival, but if you load up your dispenser, then you put this in the back, and you hit control, and then you like click the scroll wheel, that does pick block, and it keeps the MBT data. So now you'll see that this has a full TNT, and so does that one. This is just for ease of building it. You don't actually have to do that, and unfortunately if you're in survival, you have to load it manually. So to start off with, what we'll do is we'll pile up a few blocks, because it needs to be a few blocks off the ground. And what we're going to do is we're going to place 4 dispensers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to place a block on the side like this, temporary, and on here. And we're going to just place like this. Now we're going to do this for 6. So we're doing 2. 3. 4. That's 4. 5. 6. So now we got all 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're just gonna go up these ones. I'm holding shift and space so I can fly and place it. It's kind of irrelevant for survival though, but so we're gonna break these temporary blocks. So now we got this in place, and we're gonna have to place this to stop the TNT and keep it in place. So these blocks must be placed here. Also needs to be one there. And on one of these sides, we're gonna have to place a ladder. And then off of here, we're gonna place 1, 2, 3 blocks out, and then we're gonna get our snow layers. And the reason we do 3 layers is because it's slightly shorter than a slab. Because if it's a slab, it goes too far upwards, like the shot, and it doesn't get enough propulsion. So 3 snow layers is like the perfect amount. Then on this level we need to place in blocks. And then from here we go 6 up. Sorry, my textures aren't loading, but they're there. This side. Again, I'm just holding shift and space. Obviously you can't do that in survival, but there's ways around that. So this is, I believe, 5 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And on both sides, actually, we're going to just quickly place in the top dispensers because we're trying to get as much TNT in as possible. Same on this side. And then we place water here. So now basically all we need to do is wire it. We've gotten all the dispensers in place, all we need to do is wire it. Okay, so what we're going to start off by doing is wiring up the propulsion part, the part that launches the TNT. And to start off, we actually have to place some blocks down here and place redstone. This is to power the bottom dispensers. And you only need to do this, it's kind of weird, you need to do on both sides, just in case one side doesn't fire. And off of here, what we're going to do is we're going to place like this. And we're going to go out like this. And we're going to go like this. Like in this pattern. And to wire up, we need to place repeaters at 2 ticks. And then redstone, 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 redstone. Repeaters at 2 ticks. And we need to do the same thing on the other side. So then what we need to do is place a slab up from this block. So where we're going to place that is we're going to go on top of that redstone and then down one like that. Same thing. And then we're going to be in the next level. We can place a block here. And then we need to basically copy this pattern. But then it's going to be a little bit different for the wiring. Because we're going to start running into the redstone length limit. So you can only send redstone, like a redstone signal so far without running out. So what we need to do is put a repeater. The first repeater needs to go 2 ticks into there. Then we need one going 1 tick out and 1 tick out. And sorry, we need an extra block there. We need redstone, 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 redstone. And then repeaters on 1 tick since it's getting the second tick from here, so it's all in like line. I guess we don't need these then, but sorry, repeater, repeater, repeater. Same thing. So these should all be set to 1 ticks. That should be set to 2 ticks. That should be set to 1 tick, and all these ones down here should be 2 ticks. Okay, we're good. Then what needs to happen is the same thing. We need to continue going up by placing in this pattern until we reach the top. Basically, the way they work is that it powers this block, but it also powers the one above it. However, for this layer, if you put redstone on top, it powers this one and like the ones underneath. So we're gonna just do that. That wasn't the correct way to do, but you can also do like that if you're creative. And slap here. So then what we can do is place a repeater. This one needs to be set to 2 ticks because it needs to stay in line. And we actually don't even need blocks there. Then we just do redstone, 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 redstone. So that should be basically this part all wired. If we put a block here, it should be actually safe to test now, like the propulsion part. Because if you look in here, it's all full, it's all should be blocked in. Actually, this should be one higher, my bad. So all fires that like once. That's exactly what we want. And sorry about the ladder, but that needs to be 7 tall because it needs to keep this TNT in line. But yeah, that's the powering for the first bit. So now let's do the powering for the actual payload. So yeah. Okay, so for wiring this up, we can first start off by doing the top one because this is easy. So this is going to cover the top, like this be facing down, and these two. And what we're going to do is just place a block going out like this into a repeater, into a comparator, like so. And we do put in subtract mode so you make sure that red light is on. Then we go block, block, and we just cover all the top of it with redstone like so. So that's going to make it fire multiple times. And yeah. Okay, so next what we need to do is all of these ones here. And to do that, what we'll do is take a block out here. And we'll do a block up here. So redstone, redstone. Then what we do is a repeater. And this repeater actually needs to be set to 4 ticks. Because it's a bit difficult to explain, but basically you need to have repeaters going into these side ones, otherwise it won't work. So that also means that you have to make the clock kind of like this by putting redstone dust, this also has to be on, redstone dust, and then repeater set to 1 tick. And then what we can do is just, place the repeater in here, set to 1 tick delay. Then we also need power on this one. So to do that, we can just place a block up here, and then we can break that temporary block. A block here, 1, 2, 3, and then repeater set to 1 tick. And we're just going to do the same thing on the other side. So go over to here, block, block up, break temporary block, repeater set to 4 ticks. It has to be in subtract mode. That's very important. Otherwise, it'll just kind of, it won't work. Like it'll just stay like a solid pulse until thing runs out. Anyway, so block, block, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, redstone, redstone, redstone. Here set to 1 tick. Then all we have to do again is go up here. You can do it on any side, doesn't really matter. And then we're going to place the blocks here, 1, 2, 3, 3. And that should be basically kind of completely done. Now there's only one thing left to do, and that is to test it. So quickly before we test it, I just want to give some quick advice about loading the TNT. The most TNT needs to be placed in these top ones here and here, because that fires the most TNT per shot. Then the next most needs to be here, and the next most the least amount needs to be here. So I'd recommend if you put like a stack here, you need about 6 stacks here, 6 to 7 stacks here, and about 3 to 4 stacks in this, the bottom ones. But yeah, let's just test it to make sure it works, and we fire it. So the wall wasn't exactly built on center. The mist parts flew past it, but yeah, you get the idea. But yeah, that's about it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys build it. It'd be really funny to see the look on your opponent's face if you shot this at their base, because it will absolutely shred it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I've been Generic Redstone Genius, and I'll catch you guys in my next video.